everyone, thanks for pressing play. We are talking great comics for April 2nd, 2014. As I've said before many times in previous videos, the year is, you guessed it, flying by. Guys, we are already into April, already into a lot of awesome, exciting things. As always, I am Chris, I laugh loud, and this is my co-host Randy. Well, not really. You know, I usually do this show with my co-host Randy, but today Randy's feeling a little bit funky. So even though he's not like really here, he is here in spirit, and he'll also be here in various incarnations as well. So enjoy the show. Guys, if you've never watched our show before, thanks for pressing play. Take a moment now to subscribe down below, because all we do is talk about great comics hitting the shelf each and every week. We're also on Facebook, we're on Twitter, all the links are down below, and this will be a longer episode like all of our episodes are, so if you want the MP3, just click on the link below and take you right to our website. You can download the MP3 and listen to the show on the go. Did you have anything that you wanted to... Okay, anyway, guys, you know, we usually have something that we do share and show, but really I'm going to cover that with what's coming out this next week. But I do have a question of the week for you. One that I've had in the back of my mind for a while now, and now is an excellent time to go ahead and share that question of the week. And that question is this. Let's make it kind of like a two-parter. Here we go. Who is your favorite superhero animal, or what is your favorite animal story, comic book story? Who is your favorite comic book superhero animal, or what is your favorite comic book animal story, whether it's superpowered, heroic, or just a normal dogs, cats, whatever? Tell me below what your favorite is. Mine, I would have to say, undoubtedly, is We Three by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. We Three is fantastic. It's the story of a dog, a cat, and a rabbit that are experimented upon and become weaponized by the U.S. government. And their struggle to break free and to just be normal. And anybody that's a Grant Morrison fan would definitely want to read this, but especially if you are a Frank Quitely fan, this is some of the best artwork that he has ever done. I could just gush and gush and gush, but my favorite animal story is We Three. It's just phenomenal. If you haven't read it or seen it or even heard about it till now, we have copies available here in our shop. Any great local comic shop retailer will have copies of the collection available. We have copies of the collection available here. It's just awesome. You'll be blown away. And if you pick it up and read it, because of my recommendation, stop by and tell me what you thought about it, because I would love to hear what you thought about that. I highly, highly recommend it. And guys, no? Okay. So guys, that's the question of the week. Who is your favorite superhero animal? And or what is your favorite superhero, normal animal storyline that you've ever read that you want to talk about? Tell me below. Log into Google+. Tell me below. Let's talk about it. Let's have some fun with it. Guys, moving on to some storylines that are hitting the shelf this week. There's really nothing coming from the main storylines that we've been telling you about before, but there are a couple things that I want to include as storylines or as jumping on points that I think would be particular interest to many of our fans of comics here in Shreveport and Texarkana and just the world in general. And the first step is Ultimate Spider-Man number 200. Brian Michael Bendis has gone on record saying that this is 200, or actually issue number 209 maybe, of a culmination of Ultimate Spider-Man comics. But with this particular issue of Ultimate Spider-Man number 200, it's an anniversary issue. It's the anniversary of Peter Parker's death. And this issue has Brian Michael Bendis writing, along with a host of fantastic artists that have worked on this series with him. We're talking about Dave Marquez, Dave LaFuente, Sarah Pichelli, Mark Brooks, Mark Bagley. All are going to be participating with this anniversary issue. And In kind of classic Bendis form, he does tell us that there's going to be a surprise, shocking ending to this particular issue. Is it something to lead up to the new Ultimate Universe and what's happening afterwards with the new Miles Morales series or the new Ultimates series that's coming out? I don't know. This would be a great issue for you to get. And we also have Survive, #1 on the shelf as well, which was kind of like the wrap-up and the launch into what's about to happen. The wrap-up of the Cataclysm event and the launch of what's about to happen into the Ultimate Universe. So be sure and pick both of those up when you stop into the store. Guys, another issue that is not directly a Forever Evil tie-in, but it is kind of spinning out of the events of Forever Evil. We have Action Comics #30, written by Greg Pak, Aaron Kuder on art. This looks like a particularly interesting story because Superman and Lex Luthor are coming face to face in this issue. And it looks like the hero may be the villain may be the hero. And if you've been reading what's been going on with Forever Evil, you know that the Justice League is set up to make a major roster change after the events of Forever Evil. Also in this issue, we are looking at the return of a Doomsday from the Phantom Zone. So what will Superman do about that? Will Lex Luthor help him? Will Lex Luthor be involved? We will see. And guys, if DC was doing a Point Now type promotion along with some of their new storylines or creative teams, then Detective Comics #30 would be on that. Because Detective Comics #30 sees the creative team of Flash come over to Detective Comics. Brian Buccellato with Francis Manapul on art are coming over to take over Detective Comics. A lot of the other writers that have been involved with Detective Comics are moving over to do stuff with Batman Eternal. So you've got this new creative team from the Flash series coming over to Detective to do Batman. And Batman is faced with a new deadly narcotic that is hitting the streets actually in Gotham City. How will they deal with that? See what the new creative team does with Detective Comics #30. That's it for the storylines this week, guys. Moving on to some #1s. Well, just when you're talking to them, look at them. And then when you're talking to me, look at me. It'll be okay. Just keep it flowing. Guys, there are tons of new #1s hitting the shelf this week. Several of them I'm very much looking forward to. But guys, let's dive right on in. It is the week of Inhuman #1. Marvel has been promoting this series for months now. It's the next Marvel franchise. There's no doubt about it. With all the plans that they have with the Inhuman community in the Marvel Universe, everything that's going on there, this is the next big push. And we have Charles Soule and Joe Madureira on board for this new #1 hitting the shelf. Terrigen mists are changing people all across the globe. Medusa is stepping up as the ruler of the Inhuman kingdom and is having to deal with the changes, the leadership, just her whole world being rocked. And that is what this series is going to be focusing on. We're going to be seeing some new characters as well. We're going to see how they interact with the Marvel Universe in general. And fantastic, awesome looking art that I have seen so far from Joe Madureira on this series as well. I'm looking forward to Inhuman #1. Charles Soule seems to be like the workhorse in the comic industry. I think this is his 6th or 7th title, monthly title that he's doing. But kudos to you, sir. Keep up the great work. And I really want to check this out. For fans of Aquaman, new #1 hitting the shelf this week, Aquaman and The Others with Dan Jurgens, Lan Medina, Ivan Reis on the art. This is a new Aquaman series hitting the shelf, which teams up Aquaman and some of his fellow teammates from Atlantis and various other places to come together and protect some of the artifacts of Atlantis from an unknown foe. Who that is hasn't been revealed yet, but if you're a fan of Aquaman, you'll see it here in this series. Check it out. Tell us what you think about it. Another thing that is returning to the shelf, Marvel's done this in various incarnations over the years, but we have What If Age of Ultron hitting the shelf. This is part 1 of a 5-part miniseries, and this is the storyline. This is about the storyline of Age of Ultron. If you read Age of Ultron, spoilers, here we go. You can skip ahead if you want. Here we go. Wolverine was sent back in time to kill Hank Pym so that he wouldn't create Ultron. But this What If Age of Ultron series takes a look at what if Wolverine killed somebody else and not Hank Pym and did not stop the creation of Ultron. And this first issue explores the possibility or what life would be like if the Wasp had been killed instead of Hank Pym. So you got Joe Keating on writing, Raphael Anko on artwork. And I think this is going to be a weekly series. I think we'll have one of these coming out. It's either every week or bi-weekly until the series concludes, with each issue focusing on the death of a different Avenger and what life would be like without that. So this one issue, they're done in one issues. If you guys are fans of What If and with that particular storyline, which was a big blockbuster event for Marvel, you'll want to check out What If, Age of Ultron, #1 hitting the shelf this week. Also, guys, from Avatar Press, one of my favorite writers branching out, doing something a little bit different. We have Caliban, #1 by Garth Ennis with art by Facundo Pircio. This is Garth Ennis doing sci-fi horror. This tells the story of the ship, the spaceship Caliban, with its crew out and about, out in space. They mysteriously or accidentally crash into an alien ship, and horror ensues from there. If you guys are fans of Alien or any type of sci-fi horror, this is Garth Ennis doing it, and I really want to check it out. I like a lot of what Garth Ennis does. I'm down for some good sci-fi horror whenever that can occur. This will be one of those instances. You should check it out as well. Guys, there is so much going on in the Whedonverse at this time, and this week is no exception, because we have Angel and Faith Season 10, #1 hitting the shelf. We got Angel and Faith back in the Whedonverse, coming back, doing what they do. We got Victor Gischler and Will Conrad, who is a Whedonverse favorite artist, coming to the series to do the art. And this is, I don't know how much of it was revealed in the past, but a big magic bomb has dropped in London, and Angel takes it upon himself to be like the gatekeeper of magic in that area. And I don't really think that's a good idea. Also, we're going to see Faith team up with Buffy to take care of some zompires. We shall see. Lots of rave reviews have been coming in from all the new Whedonverse titles that have been hitting the shelf. Serenity, the new Buffy season that just started up in comics. So this will more than likely be no exception. This will probably be another great one, getting tons of great reviews. Tell us about it if you pick it up and you read it. Tell us below what you thought of issue #1 of Angel and Faith Season 10 hitting the shelf. And guys, because I would just be... I'm going to mention this because we have several people that like it. And it is Pac. I looked it up on YouTube. That's how he said his name. Okay, all right. So guys, wrapping it up for the #1s, we have Deadpool versus Carnage. Crazy good guy versus crazy bad guy. It's going to be a bloody mess. You can guarantee it. We got Caliban, who is no stranger to either Deadpool or Carnage. And we got Salva Espen on the artwork. So guys, this is a 4-issue miniseries. Anybody that is a fan of either. And there is quite a following for both characters. I expect this to be flying off the shelf this week. If you're a Deadpool fan, Carnage fan, pick it up. Make sure it's on your list. Enjoy it. Tell us what you think about below. Guys, tons of new #1s hitting the shelf. Now we're on to some of our favorites that we love to talk about. Each week they hit the shelf. These are some of our monthly favorites. And be warned, there probably will be some spoilers. Hey, buddy. There probably will be some spoilers. So, did you just wake up? Okay. Guys, hitting the shelf this week, we have Magneto #2 hitting the shelf. I loved #1. Cullen Bunn, Gabriel Hernandez Walta doing on the creative team, doing the writing and the artwork there. From the preview pages I saw, this looks awesome because not only is Magneto on his own personal quest to take down those that have persecuted and hurt mutantkind and also protect mutantkind in his own way, but he's also been developing, or has already had, some followers, some fans all this time. Issue #2, we're going to take a look at some of those fans of Magneto. I don't know if this is going to be like The Following on TV or something. I hope not quite like that, but it's no surprise Magneto has had followers in the past. So it would be nice to see what these new followers are like of Magneto and what he's doing. I can't wait to pick up #2. That will be the top of my stack there. Also, guys, a great debut with Moon Knight #1 just a few weeks ago. Now Moon Knight #2 hits the shelf this week. We have Warren Ellis writing, Declan Shalvey on art. The art looks fantastic for this second issue. With the preview pages that I saw, there's not much being solicited to this, but in those first couple of pages, we saw Moon Knight attacking or going after a sniper. And the sniper had a pretty inventive way of getting out of Moon Knight's way there. It was really cool looking. Not much is being released about this series. I think they're keeping a lot of the details close to the vest. But in this second second issue, from what I've seen, we do get to see Moon Knight back in classic superhero costume. Looks awesome. Declan Shalvey is already just blowing it away with the whole use of space and the way that he's portraying the character with this. Totally digging it. Loving it. Issue number 2 hits the shelf. Check out Moon Knight number 2. And guys, another one of my favorites, probably be the second one I read. I probably am going to read Magneto first. But one of my favorites each month, Green Arrow number 30 hits the shelf this week. This is part 5 of the Outsiders War. We have Jeff Lemire writing, Andrea Sorrentino on art. Guys, I'm loving what Jeff Lemire has done with the story of Green Arrow. It's been fantastic. There's been so many, it's its own thing. Even though there are similarities to what's going on in the TV series, they're not the same thing. They are independent stories. Jeff Lemire has done a fantastic job of incorporating elements into the comic book and vice versa. I mean, it's just fantastic. And the Outsiders that he's introduced here in the comic is a fantastic concept. These different clans based around different weapons. There's a mythology behind it now. But Green Arrow is set to take on a mob of outsiders, but some unlikely heroes show up to save him. We're going to be seeing Katana. Looks like we'll see Butcher, Magus, and Kodiak in this issue. And I think we had this part 5. Maybe there's a part 6 of the Outsiders War. It'll be wrapping up soon. And then we'll be launching into the big new storyline that has been building up in the background with Diggle. So I can't wait to see that. Love the series. You should be reading it if you aren't already. Guys, last up for me, one of my favorite miniseries from last year from Dark Horse Comics. The trade paperback collection hits this week. You should check it out. Buzzkill, trade paperback from Dark Horse. Donnie Cates, Mark Resnicek, Jeff Shaw on the art. This is about a superhero that, like Superman, gets his strength and stuff from the sun. Green Lantern has his ring. Well, this is about a superhero that gets his strength and is very powerful from drinking and drugs and smoking. You know, the stuff that you really shouldn't do, let's just be honest with you about that. But this is how he gets his powers, from doing some of these bad things, putting these bad things into his body. And we're at a point in his life in this storyline where he's in a program to try to clean himself up and get off of that stuff and become a better person along the way, not be a superhero drunk, not remembering what he does. But this story is fantastic. The artwork was awesome. The story just kept me from... another guy recommended it here in the shop. I was kind of on the fence. When I picked it up, I picked up issues 1 and 2, read both of them, and was just waiting for 3 and 4 to hit the shelf because I loved it. And if you pick up this trade paperback collection, I am jealous, because you get to read it all in one fell swoop. So it'll be awesome. Anything else to add, sir? All right. Guys, that's it for this week. Keep my co-host Randy in your... Hey, buddy. Randy. Anyway, keep my co-host Randy in your prayers. And guys, another fantastic week. There was a ton of additional stuff that I could have covered. I just didn't have the time for this particular episode. Randy's always great with helping pick up some things that I missed along the way. So I do miss him. Wish he was here with us doing the show today. But guys, don't forget, answer the question of the week. Who is your favorite superhero animal character? Or what is your favorite comic book animal storyline from any company, from anywhere? Log in, tell me below. May even have a little surprise for the best answer down below. We will see. But guys, all this is here in the shop. So much more is also hitting this week. So go by your local comic shop if that's us. We are here in Shreveport, Louisiana. We are ExcaliburCCG.com, Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and Texarkana, Texas. Guys, thanks for pressing play. We really appreciate it. Our subscriber count has jumped up. We really appreciate the engagement that we are getting. We love talking to you guys. We love talking to you guys about comics. And guys, that's it for this week. More information about Free Comic Book Day will be coming up soon. We will have more details for you soon. Until next time, be safe, take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right.